For those with good taste.
Welcome back, Tasties and Taste Tests, to another episode of FTWGT Weekly. It's your boy Lenny, joined again, as always, with the man in the middle chair, D33333333333333. Right. And the producer extraordinaire himself, Dante. D.
Don't.
Hey, how do you guys feel about retro games?
Retro games.
Retro games. I was a bit of a game collector. Got a lot of old games.
You're into retro games?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess actually I should define this. What is a retro game?
Retro game? I don't know what a retro.
Why am I being defeated so badly right now by a simple 2-word phrase?
I don't know. I guess anything from previous generation consoles, right?
Okay. So, for instance, I was thinking about this, and this is why it came to light. Pokemon.
Gotta catch them all.
Who are you guys starting with?
I mean, what gen? What are we talking about?
OG. That's why I was saying retro. Like I'm talking like first time you booted up Pokemon.
Like you're talking about like Bulbasaur, Squirtle, or Charmander.
Yeah, like first time you guys booted that shit on. Like who were you rocking with? This is pre-yellow because I think we all wanted the Pikachu sidekick, right? Like that. We can all agree that it was the coolest thing to be like, I want a Pikachu sidekick.
Yeah.
But yeah, OG one. Who are we choosing?
Squirtle.
I'm a Bulbasaur guy.
I feel like I might have to take Charmander now, if I'm being honest. I feel like you guys just pressured me a little bit into taking
Who
Charmander.
would be your authentic choice?
I wanted to say Squirtle, I think.
So I'll tell you, the reason I picked Squirtle first in those is because I'm pretty sure the first gym you come across is Brock's.
So you were just trying to make shit easier for yourself.
I was giving myself a better start.
It wasn't that you liked that one the most.
No, it was strategic.
I mean, Bulbasaur with grass also defeats Brock Gym pretty easily.
Water was definitely way more effective against rock.
About the
So
same.
would we agree then Charmander might be the coolest, but because it was objectively the hardest to start with, maybe?
It was hard mode at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah. So you maybe wouldn't pick that one as likely. How much did it play into like the evolution part of it? Like the idea of evolving your characters were there one, because like, I don't know, is like Bulbasaur, like the evolution tree maybe isn't as cool as Blastoise would have been cool.
You don't like big frogs?
Or like, obviously the most legendary card of all time. Like everybody would have picked Charmander because Charizard
yeah,
was what we were told. Who decided that Charizard was like the card? Like what was decided that was the most rare card, that was the most powerful card? Like what, did they decide that or did like people?
Yu-Gi-Oh decided that.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough. What's another retro game? How'd you guys feel about Twisted Metal?
Fucks with it.
Right.
I mean, yeah. I think I have a lot of fond memories of like 1 and 2. I don't really think I played too much past
I don't
that.
think I remember any differentiation
Black.
between the titles,
Yeah,
but I do remember playing it.
So the only thing I remember about Twisted Metal Black is like the OG ones were like PS1, right? Like
1 and 2.
and then I feel like it had been a while, and we
Twisted
hadn't got
Metal
a game,
Black
and
was
then,
the one that tried to give you like a storyline behind it, right?
yeah, and I feel like it was like the next gen, the first next gen.
So that's the
version
one I
of
did
Twisted
play.
Metal.
That.
Yeah, like was that game. So I don't remember playing it as much. 1 and 2 definitely. Twisted Metal and Road Rash or Road Rage were like the two games that I remember vehicle-wise playing a ton. Hot Pursuit also being another one in there.
You never played the Burnout games?
No, but they had the most realistic like
Need
car
for Speed?
physics, right? Well, that's what I was saying, Hot Pursuit, right? Like
Underground.
Burnout definitely wasn't known for realistic car physics.
Wasn't it the one that the cars blew up though?
Yeah,
and
it
shit?
was
That's what I
one
meant.
of the
Not
more
realistic,
fun,
but like more
crash physics.
Yeah, crash physics was what I was looking for. Sorry. When you guys were playing Mortal Kombat though, who were you picking?
Mortal Kombat?
No, fuck. Just making sure he's okay. Yeah. Twisted Metal. Mortal Kombat is another game that's
Is that a retro game?
Yes. It's a retro game, dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, Twisted Metal, who were the vehicles you guys were choosing? What was the strategy? What was your strats?
I think in Twisted Metal 1, I probably drove around with like the Grim Reaper guy.
The Hearst? Is that
Maybe,
was?
yeah.
There's no T at the end of hers.
And then Twisted Metal 2.
We're gonna words please me more, dude.
Yeah.
I've already proven I'm having issues right now.
Yeah, no, we're just going to keep highlighting them.
Okay.
Twisted Metal 2, I was definitely an Axel guy.
He just had was it miniguns and then like rockets he could shoot out of it, or what?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was the one that was just like the two wheels and he was holding them, right?
Yeah. Fucked up visual, actually, when you think back on it retrospectively, maybe. But obviously Sweet Tooth, but I don't think anybody really played as Sweet Tooth. I think that was just the one you were terrified of when you saw him in the game. Spectre, I think, was the one I probably recall playing the most. You pulling up the full list?
I'm trying to remember them now.
So Spectre had the easiest to damage car, but it was like the shiftiest and the fastest one. So it was fun. What do you guys remember for the maps? Because I remember just that one map that was like a grid of
and
like
then it had the
four
pit in the middle.
Yeah,
right?
it had like 4 streets.
Yeah.
And then they crossed at certain points, right?
Yeah.
It was just grid roads. That's the only one I really remember. I do remember the big bowl that like there would be the thing in the middle and there would maybe be jumps on the sides that you could get to like power ups or something.
Yeah, because I think all the power ups were on like the street level and then you would jump into the pit because that's where all your cover was, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
I forget.
Mr. Grimm was my guy. In the first one.
Was he in a hearse?
No, it was kind of like it was just a motorcycle.
Okay.
So what you had? Crimson Fury. I don't remember that. Roadkill. Don't really remember that either.
I remember Roadkill. That was like a heavily armored muscle car, right?
Yeah.
Dark Side.
I feel like that was a really good one.
Spectre. I definitely remember that car after looking at it now. Sweet Tooth. Thumper. I remember. Was kind of a lowrider type.
Yeah, but he had guns up on like the sides of the hood, I feel like.
Hammerhead, Mr. Grimm, Minion. I don't know about that. Warthog. Definitely remember Warthog. Yellow Jacket, Outlaw, and Pit Viper.
Outlaw, I remember also as the cop, right?
Yeah.
So, I bring all of this up to say me and you are very big fans of the Twisted Metal series, right? Dave, thoughts?
Haven't seen it.
Any interest?
Yeah, I don't know if I'm super high on Anthony Mackie, so probably not.
How do you feel about the song My Immortal by Evanescence?
Good question.
I don't know it.
You do. It's the Daredevil song.
How does it go?
These wounds are meant to heal.
Wait, no, the other song.
You're thinking Bring Me to Life? Oh my God.
Wake me up.
I was thinking too. I was like, wait, was that one Daredevil 2?
I wipe away all of my tears. You know, I for all these. You know what?
I know that song, yeah.
Okay. All right. Was it me? Hey, you remember a few weeks ago, guys, when I was like, how much does like a performer or an actor impact your interest in like following their career and stuff? Dave is the complete opposite of me. Like, I'm very much like, I like an actor and I'm obsessive to a point. I like read the IMDb. I watch all this stuff.
He hates actors and steers clear of shit. Yeah.
They're dead to him. Dead to him forever. He doesn't want to hear about them. Doesn't want to read about them. He fucking mutes them on Twitter. Like references. No thank you.
I've got another one to add to that list at some point today.
Oh, do we want to just get into it?
Yeah, I don't know if I ever want to watch another Kieran Culkin movie.
Oh, well, no, that's not fair, dude, because you need to watch the one that led to us watching this one, but we'll save it. You're right. So we're getting ready for season 2. We just got, I guess, it felt like a full trailer, but I feel like it called itself a teaser.
I mean, there was a lot of snippets, so I feel like it's probably still more a teaser trailer, but I think I'm realizing I prefer teaser trailers because it didn't feel like as spoiler filled.
I get it.
Yeah, you know?
Yeah.
We
don't want the whole thing yet. Like, the build up.
Edging, you know?
It's interesting. I don't disappoint you as much on that part.
Because you're always assuming I got more.
Yeah. You don't know how quickly it's gonna finish. So So season 2 of Twisted Metal.
I don't think you understand how much I was fighting for that to not be a spit take.
No, that would have been good for the graphic. I feel that would have been a good thumbnail. You spitting.
There was nowhere
water
safe
Dave,
to.
Dude. Just Dave's like shocked face. You get like water, like it's stilled in the image. That'd be really good, actually. We can do
Dave doesn't seem too thrilled about that idea.
No. Doesn't enjoy it as much as we do. I think you should watch it, Dave. I do get that, like, Anthony Mackie's not a guy for you, but it's a fun series. And I think it's like one of those things where it pays homage enough to make like fans that remember it be happy with it. I guess if you're probably a hardcore, but I don't know. Do you guys think there's people that are like hardcore Twisted Metal guys?
See, the thing is, like, that's kind of the beauty of the series, though, is I remember after watching the first season trying to look up and see like how lore accurate it was. There's not really a story to the Twisted Metal game.
Yeah.
So they kind of get the freedom to do whatever they want with the characters. And
the game, it was very much just like you're in a battle to
it's just
like,
an arena
survive,
game, yeah.
Or it's just like everything was very simple and handed to you. There was little character backgrounds, which I think they used to make the show make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first season was like a breeze. It wasn't, it was an easy watch. It's not like the best show I've ever seen or anything, you know? It's not gripping TV necessarily, but it's fun and it knows what it is. And then I think watching the stuff for the second season, I feel kind of the same way.
Has it been a couple of years?
Year and a half, maybe? Yeah.
I feel like it came out last year, no? Was it the year before?
I don't know. It all kind of blends together. Me and you talked about it when it was coming out, though. So,
yeah, maybe it could have been like end of 23.
It's definitely one of those things where it's like it's a part of Anthony Mackie's ascent, you know, where it's like you're starting to see him everywhere. It was with this show, I feel like.
Yeah, you're right.
Because now you've gotten the I can't go below sea level off this mountain
elevation.
That one.
Summer of 23.
And it's actually, you can't go
so a year and a half
above
right.
8,000 feet. Is that what it was?
Well, they can't, but we can't go below or we die.
Clarence parents had a real good marriage.
Yeah, he did. But yeah, I think, Dave, you should give it a go. I think everybody out there, if I'm being fair, should give it a go. You know what people didn't get the chance to give a go to, though, guys? Can we talk about this real quick? This is controversial on the interwebs. Controversial shit. There's like a 6th movie in a franchise that came out this past week. Can you guys believe that?
Why is that unbelievable?
Well, you'd think you would know it right off the top of your head if there's been 6 of them.
Oh, that came out this week?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think.
It's a huge franchise. It's big.
Is it like another Minions movie?
No.
All right. I don't know.
Dante? Don't know it?
No.
It's the Bridget Jones franchise.
I was
You there?
Bridget Jones?
I got it
Yeah, the Bridget Jones Diary franchise.
Is it the 6th? I thought it was like 4th.
I made the number 6 up. I genuinely don't know.
I love
it
that.
Feels right, though. If you want to double check me on that, it feels right.
You think she's still writing in the same diary?
It should be called journals at this point, if it's not, or diaries.
Bridget Jones Archives.
It might be diaries, and we're just off, but it just says Bridget Jones. I bring this up to say the film went directly to Peacock in the U.S. No theatrical release.
Well, you got no Hugh Grant to kind of market it, you know?
That's weird. I don't know enough. I was looking at the thumbs to all the movies.
Looking at their thumbs?
Yes, just specifically. I want to see how they aged. They're like a tree. I was looking for lines.
Apparently only the first one is the diary.
Yeah, and the rest are just Bridget Jones, right?
The Edge of Reason. And then the third one, Bridget Jones' Baby.
Bridget
Jones. Like
Juno?
Edging? And then this is the 4th?
I don't know even what the name of the 4th one is. It didn't come up when I looked it up.
So it gets released directly to streaming in the US, but it ends up making $35 million worldwide in the movie theaters. Pretty good.
I mean, I think I've always felt like there was a big fandom for it.
There's enough of a cult fandom for sure that they've been able to pump out this many movies. That's where I'm like, it's crazy. That's kind of what I was getting at the beginning, where it's like, we would never think of it, but it's gotten 4, 5, 6 movies, however many, and they've all been successful enough.
So I guess I don't know anything about any of these movies. I never saw any of them. So I have 2 and 3, no idea. I know the first one was all about, was it it was Hugh Grant and was it Pierce Brosnan or somebody? I don't.
Dante, pull up the thumbs.
It was like a love triangle, right? I think it was about her and then like two men, whatever. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what this fourth or sixth movie is all about as well.
It's up
so
to
like
interpretation which one it could be.
Is all four movies just like there's two guys vying for this one girl and she's just caught in the middle? Like
the third movie's who impregnated her. That's insane. The first movie starts with her taking a pregnancy test, and we have to figure out who the dad is. There's two candidates.
Isn't that a Ryan Reynolds movie?
It is. It's definitely maybe. It's three dads. Oh, no, it's three moms. I'm sorry. It's three moms. He fucked three women. Good for him. It's triple mine. That was a joke. Yeah, the Bridget Jones franchise, is it disrespectful to you guys to be that many movies in and they're like, we'll make one, but we're gonna put it in the like. I don't know, how does it make that much money internationally? Like, it can't cost that much to make, right? So it ends up being very successful.
Just a little tidbit.
You got very excited.
I went to
That's the happiest I've seen him.
For real.
Oh,
just randomly crossed my mind. I went to London last summer.
Subtle flex.
And
Motherfucker travels.
was just driving around on like one of like the like double decker like tour buses where they're kind of just like talking about the city.
Also,
you met
one of the
Bridget Jones? Like,
no, just
where are you going with
one of
this?
the things
I'm
as they're
excited.
driving around was just like, oh, and that's Hugh Grant's house from Bridget Jones's Diary. Like
Oh.
it was just part of the
You've
tour.
seen it?
And I was just like, oh, okay, cool.
What can you describe it? I've never seen it.
I guess it was kind of just like not like a straight road. It was just like a little bit of a curved like.
We asked about the house.
It was just a whole.
I'm getting there.
It was just
I like
a whole
this.
bunch of stoops of like houses. That was it.
Kids
That was literally it.
leave
All right,
soup.
Yeah.
So the description I have in my mind now is just a road that's slightly curved, and you only describe the steps.
Curving road. Every house.
You didn't actually.
Every
We never got to the house.
it wasn't house. Like they were just.
Was
it was
like a
one
brownstone?
building, but like maybe is that what they're called? When like they're all the same building.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
Yeah.
There's just walls like separating the houses, the people's homes.
Yes.
Like an apartment
Yeah,
complex,
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. It was just that. And they just decided to point it out to us. And I was just like, okay.
You painted a picture, man.
He didn't finish the picture, but yeah.
Is this more of a streaming thing where it's just like companies will pay probably relatively exorbitant amounts to bring stuff to their platform? So like Peacock is like, we think that this is going to do well enough to bring people to subscribe, so we're going to pay for this franchise, so it'll never see the level of popularity. What was the movie we talked about?
Hugh Grant wasn't.
Was it the Glenn Powell movie, the Hitman movie?
Oh,
That we talked about how like they wished it had gotten a theatrical release, right? Is this another one of those ones where this should have gotten it, but it got bought out by a streaming platform? So now the level of success for this movie is kind of capped in a way.
I didn't even know about the other three movies existing.
No, it is weird because this seems like a movie when Dave describes it, and it's always been one, but I think Bridget Jones' Diary is like a bridge too far for me on accepting what I can watch. Because you describe a love triangle and all this stuff.
I can't
like
imagine there's a limit for you, but
there's been some tough ones, but this one I've got 4 movies apparently, maybe 6 that I've never watched.
it's 4 confirmed.
It's 4.
Yeah.
Do you have the ratings, the tomatoes?
Oh my god, you want the tomatoes?
I think this is important information for the people to know.
I'll tell you. I mean, I'll give you IMDb scores as I'm scrolling through. 6.8 on the first one, 6.0 on the second one, 6.4 on the third one,
That's impressive. Who went up?
which is called Bridget Jones's Baby.
Yes, that's where the impregnation joke came from.
And this one so far is 6.8. So they're all in the 6s.
They're getting better.
All right.
So Bridget Jones is a fine wine.
Let's see. Bridget Jones' Diary, 79% tomato score, 81 audience. Pretty in line there. But then the second one comes out, and all of a sudden the tomato score is 27%. They're like, this is garbage. Audience is like 60%, not as good as the first. Then we go to the third one, and all of a sudden Rotten Tomatoes is like, nah, this is heat again, 78%. Audience is like, nah, it's still mid, 65.
That's weird though, because reflecting in his IMDb scores, it went up with the third one, similar to the tomato score. So it's clearly a better movie.
Must be.
I mean,
that second one must be god
There's
awful.
a big gap, I think, between the second and the third one. I think the first and second are close together, and the third and the fourth are close together.
2001, 2004, 2016.
Yeah. So this is one of those reboots that was good enough to get another go, right?
Yeah.
This is Sex and the City all over again.
That got rebooted?
It had a movie and then it got a TV show.
Like a new TV show?
Yeah.
I think it did. Yeah.
You didn't. I'm surprised you didn't watch it, dude.
Bro, that's a lot of sex to be catching up on.
That's a big city.
I'm into the
It's a
city
big
part,
city.
but there's too much sex. Far too much sex in that for me.
I mean,
I saw Baby Girl. I'm tapped.
I saw-
Yeah.
I mean,
Sexed out.
there was a study, man. Gen Z's. It's too much. Too
Yeah,
much sex.
Too much
and-
sex,
Oh,
dude.
yeah.
This is too much sex, dude. Damn.
Oh,
Speaking of things that age like fine wine,
thanks.
Zoe Saldana was talking
Oh,
about
I thought you were talking about me.
the Avatar movies, and she was like, I signed on to do 5 movies when I was 28 years old, and I'm going to be done with them when I'm 54.
Damn.
That's crazy.
That's a James Cameron production right there.
Yeah, that is. I just read that and I was like, that is a crazy perspective to have to kind of live with a little bit there, right?
I mean, you know what I'm thinking right now? You remember bringing up a couple weeks ago, whatever movie that Paul Mescal signed on for, where it's like they're signed on for a movie for 70 years or something.
Film they're filming it over the course of time.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen. It's just not gonna happen.
but you say that, but
It's a
Nolan's
really
holding
cool
together
concept.
Avatar by a thread.
Who?
Nolan, Cameron. Sorry, they're the same guy. I'm a movie star guy, not a director guy. I've always been
Feel that.
upfront about it.
Feel that.
But yeah, Cameron's he's intending to do that. Basically, I don't follow the Avatar story close enough. Weirdly, Anna Taylor-Joy apparently watched Avatar. She's such a fan of it that she watched it 8 times in a row once. I can't watch that movie once straight through. It's like 3 hours long. She took an entire day of her life dedicated to straight through watching 8 consecutive Avatars.
Wait, there's 8 of those movies?
No, she watched the same one 8 times.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, and I saw just a brief red carpet interview where she just did. So Anya Taylor-Joy just did the Gorge with Sigourney Weaver.
Any thoughts on it? You guys have Apple TV? Want to tell the people?
It was okay.
Okay.
Never
Yeah.
watched it.
It just came out. You should check it out. Let us
It
know.
was all right. They had me in the first half.
That's how the Chiefs felt.
But yeah, so she just did that movie with Sigourney Weaver, who was in Avatar, and I guess Sigourney was basically talking her up, hey, you should be in Avatar, or she wanted to do a movie with Anya Taylor-Joy or whatever, and was just like, hey, give me the in on Avatar or something like that.
Oh, okay. Getting her way into her foot in the door, so to speak.
Yeah.
Okay. I again don't watch it, but I feel like it's a good thing to shoot for. It's a movie you'd want to be involved in. They are huge and they make a ton of money. It is insane to me though to watch it 8 times in a row. Craziness.
Hey man, people love these movies just because we don't.
And
I like them.
the passage of time, with the story, is it going to make sense that she's 25 years older by the time they get to the end of it? I don't know how the story works.
She's an alien.
Okay, so they can just put makeup on her.
Yep.
What you're saying? Does she have to do a lot of physical stuff in that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are they CGI'd? Because aren't they supposed to be 8 feet tall?
Yeah, but when you're in comparison standing next to other 8-foot tall characters.
You're all the same size.
Yeah.
It's all relative.
Oh, I thought they had short torsos and long legs.
In theory, like Toy Story, for instance, they could all be.
They're all a foot tall, but
They all look like they're.
Buzz is larger than life.
So to speak.
Yeah.
You're
no,
right.
I feel you.
You guys want to talk about
Damn,
some
you're right.
movie and casting news and stuff like that?
yeah.
What you got?
Casting couch?
So the Odyssey, this is maybe where Nolan got impregnated into my brain a couple minutes ago. They just seem to be naming names at this point. It's just every week another name gets attached to this movie, and you're like, how is this going to work? Is it going to be that they're just all kind of in a few scenes apiece at this point, or are we going to have potentially it's like an Endgame level, like one of those cast photos that they show you of Endgame when they had them all together on set? Is it going to be like that where we have scenes where this list just to go through it again. Tom Holland, Zendaya, Anne Hathaway, Matt Damon, John Berthal, Benny Safdie, which I don't recall off the top of my head who that is, Charlize Theron, Lupita Nyong'o, Jean Leguizamo, Elliot Page, Robert Pattinson, and now newly announced Mia Goth attached to it. Like, that's a ton of names on there, and we got a still photo. I think that you said you saw it. It was the Matt Damon one.
Damon, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't love it, but I have to see it in the movie. I never how do you guys feel about that when like movies get announced and they're like first stills from this movie? Did that become a thing more with like comic book movies because people got super nerdy into like
the costume design,
how
like
accurate the costume was, and making like videos about that? Was that where that thing became more of a?
Probably.
I guess tabloids probably always did it.
Yeah,
but
it's just
for our lifetime,
it's just a way to continue, just to drum up interest and like, all right, like people know this movie's coming out, but like you don't want to just have no talk about it up until it comes out. So it's just like,
so it's kind of like a, hey, this is what
little
we got.
breadcrumbs, yeah. Keep you thinking about it.
Yeah, I've never seen a photo really.
It does nothing for me.
Yeah, that I've stopped and like been like, oh, like in this photo in particular, I looked at it and I was like, doesn't look particularly great, but it's also a still photo. Is this during a shot of the movie? Is this them doing like, this is just a set photo, you know, like, so it's not overly produced or anything. It's just, what am I really getting out of this? But he had a mustache, I think. That was weird.
I don't.
How often does he have mustaches? What was that? I was going to say Super Size Me, but speaking of relative sizes, didn't he do that Small House movie?
Yeah. Did he have one in Oppenheimer? I think he had one.
What's the Small House movie?
Sub.
I don't know. When he shrinking?
No, that's a TV show on Apple TV. You should watch it.
Shrank.
Why are you trying to sell me Apple TV when you yourself won't even subscribe?
Shrink.
No, it's
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
That's on the list, isn't it?
Yeah.
I put that there. Like, we should watch that. That's all relative too. The other casting thing I had, Sam Raimi.
I love you gave up on that.
Did you know?
No.
What? You know, none of us knew.
I'll think about it in like 20 minutes and just blur
That'll
it
be a
out.
funny little bit later on. TikTok that.
Kristen Wiig.
No, that's gonna throw my brain for a loop now too. So Sam Raimi, Dante, who's that?
That is Sam Raimi.
What is he known for?
Give us one thing.
Acting.
No, actually miss.
Oh shit.
Miss.
Swing and a miss.
You had a big opportunity there.
I actually have no idea who it is.
That is a famous director. Movies such as The Evil Dead that you might know, Dante. Something like Spider-Man.
He had a
you
pretty
might be
big
aware
trilogy.
of. Yeah. He might have done a Doctor Strange movie in there as well. He's got a new movie coming out, though, that he has. Let me pull up just to get the accurate information for y'all.
He is an actor.
Because we're all about accuracy here.
I am, certainly. It's called Send Help. Any theories as to what it could be about?
Somebody that needs help that's sending for it.
I think
could it be a boat in distress sending out an SOS?
We're actually getting close. Okay, Dave, you had a guess?
Is it like, you know, somebody spills something in like a jar of tomato sauce in like aisle 12 and like, hey, send help. Like it's all about like
calling for help for dropping tomatoes.
It's all about like grocery clerks.
I thought you were doing the bit from The Office where Kevin brings the
chili.
Yeah,
No.
No. So this movie is, I believe, supposed to be about a woman who is stranded on a remote island with her boss after a plane crash. It's described as Misery meets Castaway. I've never seen Misery.
It's awkward and off-putting.
Interesting description. Put it on the list.
So it's a survival desert island.
I thought you were going to tell me what Misery was about.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I'm just trying to figure out what Send Help is.
Okay. It's going to be starring Rachel McAdams, Dylan O'Brien, and Dennis Haysbert, who I don't know who that is. Any idea, Dave?
No.
This guy? They picked a really terrible picture, by the way.
That doesn't show his face at all.
Yeah, it's like super difficult.
Dennis Haysbert?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not him.
Wait, that can't be the same.
Because I know who this guy is.
I do too. That's a white guy.
iPhones, man.
Just pull down.
It's spelled the exact same. That's not that. It's got to be this guy.
And they just put the wrong picture. Tisk,
Yeah.
tisk, tisk.
Yeah, Serrano
Sculpting
for Major League.
film. There you go.
Yeah.
First go to. Dante, have you gotten to the bottom of Misery and or what Send Help is about?
Yes, both.
Okay, hit me. Either order.
Okay, Send Help is about two people on a deserted island after a plane crash, and they got beef and they're trying to survive.
Okay.
Misery.
Got it. Loves company.
Yes, it does. Misery is about an author in a car crash who then gets saved by one of his fans.
Wait, isn't this the
James Caan and
Kathy Bates.
No,
Kathy Bates.
hold on, guys. The Tom Gordon book by Stephen King.
Yes,
You know what I'm talking about?
it's Stephen King.
But Tom Gordon gets killed. Isn't that a book that he did? Who cares? Whatever. It's a baseball player who gets killed by a fan. It's a book that Stephen King, I thought, did.
Well, this is different. This is author gets saved by a fan.
Just weird.
And less plot twist, we find out the fan
Yes,
caused
no,
the car
this
crash.
in the one I'm talking about, he definitely kills him. So there is a big difference, I suppose. But they just feel like eerily similar plots. Okay, so they save him. Who creates the misery in that scenario? Well, do we want to save that?
Save it for what?
Why'd you watch this, Dave?
He was
It's
miserable.
Stephen King.
Got it. Enough of a reason, I guess. But you don't like it. It's weird and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Fair enough. What are your guys' thoughts on?
I didn't finish it. He gets. I didn't finish it.
Yeah.
He gets saved and then he gets captured and tortured. That's the misery.
Sounds kind of
Yeah.
what do you guys remember the Scholastic Book Fair?
Yes.
I bring it up because this reminds me of the book The Hatchet. And it's one of my favorite books as a child, and I got it at the Scholastic Book Fair. You guys remember any books you got at the Scholastic Book Fair?
Junie B. Jones. It's like a whole series.
I don't know what that is.
I don't remember it much either. There was Rainbow
Maybe some
Fish, too.
Goosebumps books.
I
from
did
there,
get a couple of those.
feel like. Dave, did you get any?
I did. I can't remember anything though.
That's a weird thing that I look for. Like I remember fondly.
Wasn't there like other stuff
enjoying.
you were buying at the Scholastic Book
Yes.
Fair other than just books?
So they
'Cause I feel
sold like
there was
school
other stuff.
supplies and stuff. I watched a video on YouTube about like how that became like successful. And I feel like it was like a publisher who started it or something like that. And then it branched out to like getting books into schools, basically. It was just a way. And then obviously it made money. They gave the money, I think, back to the schools. So that's why the schools were so willing to do it, because it was a good way for them to make money. And obviously kids are buying books.
I just
Yeah.
remember like it everything was super colorful, and I was just like overwhelmed, and like it was fun.
Yeah.
It's kind of all I remember.
I remember you left class with your friends and it's like,
because like
you just walk
beforehand, they
around
would
and
give you the
look at-
catalog, right?
Yeah, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
They would give you the catalog because then that's how you go ask your parents for the money for when they come in.
Yeah, and they have it set up like a little store, and you would go and like look at all the books and like, oh, you were out of class with like a group of your friends. I feel like you didn't have to get to all go at once. It's like they sent groups of you from class to
class to class.
go look, right? Yeah, I remember fondly. In The Hatchet, I just remember being a book that was like relatively short.
I don't recall the Hatchet. You keep saying
so-
the Hatchet, and I'm thinking like Hatchet Man.
So
ICP.
it's about this kid who is going to visit his parents have divorced recently, and he's on a small flight, like a small plane, flying over the ocean, and they have an issue with an engine or something, and it crashes while he's going to see his other parent, and he gets stranded on an island by himself when he's like a teenager, and he has to learn to survive on an island alone while he's waiting to get saved. And there ends up being like
Sounds very similar to The Parent Trap.
No.
And what? No, Dave, let him cook.
How? Continue.
Maybe he's got something.
Divorced parents. There was a
Okay.
flight involved.
When? What? Is that true?
What? Who? What flight?
They were just
Didn't they switch
They were at
places
summer
on like a
camp.
flight home?
no, it can't.
Summer camp.
I thought they flew home from summer camp. No.
It didn't crash.
Well, no, they
All right,
didn't
so-
crash. You're right.
So I'll let you keep going. The similarities, though, so far is
There was a plane,
there was
and there was divorced people.
yes.
That's it.
I shouldn't have let him cook.
Should have reeled that one back.
I'm
Stay
not
out
a
of-
great cook.
Stay out of the kitchen. But yeah, there's like 3 Hatchet books. I think one he's on a river. Maybe this one. I don't know. They were good. I really liked them.
Wait,
when I
he
was a
keeps
kid.
getting stranded?
Yes. Yeah, it's really bad luck. The
This is
worst
terrible
luck.
parents.
Worst
Is it
luck,
every
dude.
time he's traveling from parent to parent?
Yeah, it's actually the plane was the first time. They were like, well, we'll send you on a boat this time. Wait till you see a bus the third time. That one couldn't go below 50 miles an hour.
And then there's I like that.
Do you? Do you have it,
I thought you were going there. Do you have it?
Dave?
Guts.
There we go.
Taste.
Welcome back to the Taste Test, ladies and gentlemen. If you're excited to be here, make sure to drop a like, comment, share, and subscribe on the video. Thank you so much.
Even if you're not excited to be here, you're here. So like,
Yeah, you're
just
you're
do
this
it.
far.
Just do it.
Why not? Give it a shot.
Yeah.
It feels nice. You'll feel good when you do it.
It's an act of giving, you know?
You know, the like button's the foreplay. The subscribe button's finishing you off.
Oh, somebody just did.
That was nasty. You got to see Dante's O face. Oh man, good God. Igby. Let's talk Igby, guys. Dante, I had this feeling watching this movie, if I'm being honest, that I was like, this feels like a Dante movie, kind of. It had vibes.
Now I'm getting the vibe that I'm the only one that even remotely enjoyed it.
That's not true.
Okay.
It's not true. Where there's one of us who probably didn't.
We know who. Yeah.
I'm not so much in that camp.
Okay.
I knew nothing, as all of us did. I'll take responsibility for this being on the list. It was me. It strictly comes from
Kieran Culkin.
I always forget the name of the movie.
Don't ask me to
This
remember.
one that came out like a month ago, dude. We're just terrible at this.
In theaters?
Yeah, with him and Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh,
Oh my God.
the road trip. No. Fuck.
Dave, I hate that you never remember the movie either.
Dave, you're the memory guy. What the fuck?
Yeah, we all have responsibilities here.
Yeah, but I didn't see it, and I already told you I hate this guy.
Damn, you hate everybody, dude.
A real pain.
A real pain, yes. So we see a real pain.
That's what I said.
I become interested in Kieran Culkin because he's the Culkin brother that I know. One of the Culkin brothers I know nothing about. I know about Home Alone, and then I'm fascinated because this guy just like is super popular because of a TV show in 2019.
I was today years old when I realized Kieran Culkin and Macaulay Culkin are related.
They have a third brother, Rory Culkin, which is in this movie.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So, but to your point, the reason this became interesting to me is because like 2019, all of a sudden Kieran Culkin pops up with Succession, becomes super popular, wins awards. We see this movie, wins more awards. I'm like, this guy's really good, but he's talking about, and then I see the actors on actors roundtable thing. And again, he's talking to all these other actors and he starts talking about his history and talking about how long he's been acting. And I'm like, dude, like, yeah, it's crazy. He's got the name attached that everybody would recognize, but until 2019 wasn't super
Relevant.
popular or whatever. And then
Yeah.
at some point, because I'm watching all this shit, TikToks like let me show you more Kieran Culkin stuff. And I see him talking about Claire Danes and how they hadn't seen each other since this movie Igby goes back.
Maybe goes down.
Down. Good. Yeah. Leads me to wanting to see this movie. Leads me to some level of intrigue in seeing this movie. So then, not knowing anything going in, guys, As you're watching like the actors attached to all of this just unfold like one after another, are you like, how is this movie not? Like,
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's a familiar face. Oh, that's another familiar face. Oh, I know that person.
it's crazy the level. It's just like it's not a movie that feels like anybody talks about it, and we can. That might be some of the quality stuff that Dave's talking about here. We can get into it. I'm just saying it's kind of interesting that this many popular actors attached to stuff. So then I was like, oh, is that because this is early in their career and I didn't know? So then I start going IMDb with all of the actors in this: Ryan Phillippe, fucking Claire Danes, Jeff Goldblum, Susan Sarandon, Amanda Peet. There are a million people in it, but this is all like they've all been acting for like 10 years when this came out. Even Kieran Culkin. Kieran Culkin's in Home Alone in 93.
Yeah.
And there's also a reference in this. If you notice when he goes to the hotel to get his room, that's a little. They did that on purpose. He's wearing a similar outfit to Macaulay. If you go and watch it, that's.
I didn't pick up on that one.
It's the thing I read. Dave, trivia question for you.
Okay.
I didn't mention Bill Pullman, right?
Well,
another person in this.
I love Bill Pullman, by the way.
So
Pullman is.
This is why I'm asking you this trivia question. What's the other movie that Jeff Goldblum and Bill Pullman appeared in together?
I mean, do you know,
Fuck no.
brother? All right. Yeah. Independence Day.
Independence Day.
Independence Day. That's what
Fun
I was going to
fact.
say.
The cast is crazy again. Beginning of the movie
Just starts with
throws
attempted
you off.
murder.
Yeah, I like that they were like
Successful murder.
these two kids are killing.
We
Like,
thought it was attempted.
yeah, I get what you're saying. Like, I think both. Well, we saw it was successful. It wouldn't have been attempted. They killed her in the beginning. It would have been murder.
You see her drop the spoon, but then she's in the next scene. I'm like, oh, what?
Yeah, but we find out it was successful murder.
Yeah.
But I like that they just kind of start you off with like, what the fuck am I seeing right now? They're putting a bag over this woman's head. Like, what is going on right now? Very weird start to a comedy.
Yeah.
Vaguely a comedy.
I
Was
mean,
this a comedy?
it says comedy/drama. So
Like dark comedy.
I knew it was going to lean more on the drama side
Mhm.
because that's typically what happens with dramedies.
Where did the dislike begin for you, Dave?
Dude, the first 25 minutes were like each like shifting scene was just so jarring from one to the next. There was no like story cohesion at all.
So you couldn't follow it?
So can I agree a little bit with what you're saying? One critique I had about 3/4 of the way in the movie, and I think it resolves it by the end of it, is that I was like, there's no discernible like character arc that I'm seeing here, right? Like, I'm not seeing generally like a good movie. You start off with a character being here to get them here. And
Yeah.
it did feel like to me a little bit like we know who the protagonist is, but I didn't really know what we were like. There was so much of the movie that I wasn't seeing a growth or what the resolution was going to be to the character. And so that's where I can see a little bit of what you're saying with like it being kind of a mishmash of just like different scenes together in a way.
Yeah, I guess I could give you that. Like, up until like halfway through, I was like, where are we going with this?
But I think it in a way, it's just you're kind of just in the world. Like I think at some point I took it as more of this movie's not like a point A to point B necessarily so much as like you're just watching this kid drift through New York, trying to be like trying to make himself a free spirit, like more than he is. Because I think he has like imposter syndrome kind of by the end of it a little bit, and that's why you see him crying and all of that. So yeah, I think I liked his character, Kieran Culkin, and he was the thing who drove me to watch it. Obviously, he's the same guy in a lot of ways that you see him be in A Real Pain, right? Like his quick talking. Like I'm not talking about like the character themselves, but like he hasn't changed
The mannerisms
as an actor. I don't think since he did that at all. The character that I had the most to say about in here though, Sookie.
Oh, Sookie now.
We all have to collectively hate Sookie, right?
Sookie Stackhouse?
Yeah.
Dave?
Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know. Looking through like Claire Danes' just history,
The Mod Squad, not too far before this,
I'm like,
1999.
how do I know who this person is? Because I haven't seen a single.
No, she had some. I thought when I was looking at her IMDb, her 90s stuff, like But like I said, Mod Squad's a movie I really liked. I watched it too many times. It's like a weird one for me. Like it's one of those ones perfectly up my alley. I had it on DVD. I watched it a million times.
Yeah.
She just happens to be a person that I know who she is. I've never seen anything that she's ever done.
She had that. Was she Homelander? That's what got her super popular later on.
Yeah.
Right? Homelander.
You
Or Homeland. Homelander is the character.
you had brought up hating Suki though, but like we also hate Oliver as well.
No, not as much.
I kind of, yeah. I hate him too.
I get it, snarky piece of shit, but
Bro,
like,
what do you mean not as much?
but like
that was like a scumbag.
He
move.
was hitting on her from the very first second. He was very upfront about being a douchebag about it. She led this dude on, was sleeping with him, and then gave eyes to the brother, and in the next scene was giving it up to him. Like it was like moments later, to Dave's point where it just bounced around. We went from one scene, they're in a cot together in the middle of this dance studio, and like the brother's talking to them, and she sees him like better this time than being at work. And she's like, ooh, I'm into that. And is hanging out with him at his house like the next day, or drives to his and brings him into the house the next day and fucks him.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Or from there, not even the next day. It was the same day, right?
It was the same day. It was literally, hey, oh, cool. You're fucking my brother. Let me give you a ride home. Oh, I don't have my phone. Can I go in and use yours?
And then her reasoning was, he's older than you. Bitch,
Yeah.
you knew that.
Yeah.
You knew that from the jump.
Also, whole lot of statutory rape going on in this.
Well, no. I believe there's like some type of like not, maybe New York's not like this, but there are states in the US like you can be 17 and like somebody could be 18 or 19 as long as like I think it's I think legally. I'm not saying.
Okay, Amanda Pete.
I don't.
Yeah, that one's bad actually. She does fuck a 17-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her character's tough.
Yeah.
So her character had the toughest go of all of them. This movie.
Yeah. Talk about peaks and valleys, huh?
Mostly valleys.
From a peak.
From Get. Peaks and valleys. This is where I don't necessarily agree with disliking this, because like there is certain like there's like, as a whole, I think it's a weird movie for sure. But I enjoyed Jeff Goldblum in this movie. Like his character's a piece of shit. I like that I didn't like Claire Danes. Like I think you shouldn't like everybody in movies. It's a complicated character.
Remind me, who's Claire Danes?
Suki.
Okay.
There's only like two like scenes, like shots that I was like, okay, I like funny, I like it. Bill Pullman just like pulls out Wang in the middle of like fucking dinner, and I didn't understand until like 3/4 through the movie that like, all right, like he's like
crazy,
not well.
Yeah.
Like I just kind of didn't get that from the beginning, and then somewhat I guess early on in the movie, Jeff Goldblum and Kieran Culkin just sitting on the world's smallest bench.
I didn't catch that. I didn't see it.
No.
I need to see that actually. That's funny.
I'm trying to
I
visualize
don't
the bench
remember
now.
that part, but that's very funny actually.
Oh, it's right there. It's literally one of the first photos. Hold on, sorry. Back.
Right on top of each
I don't know
other.
how I didn't even catch that.
Dude,
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum beating Kieran Culkin's ass out of nowhere is,
Dude,
I
yeah.
thought it was fantastic. Like,
Well, it's not out of nowhere.
but like
Just
just
kind of out of nowhere.
like I like that he warns him like what's going to happen. So it's not out of nowhere in the sense that they've told you like but you didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
You didn't know how serious he was about it. And then all of a sudden he just starts beating the shit out of him. And I think it's earned because Kieran Culkin is totally like Disney Channel or Nick Channel main character energy for this entire movie. Like knows it all, but doesn't know anything all at the same time. And just constantly like one-liners, just like very much the main character of a Nick
I could see that.
weekly TV
Yeah,
show,
I could
you
see
know, like this is Drake from Drake and Josh or some shit. Or I actually thought of him more as Corey from Boy Meets World a little bit,
I could
where he
see
always
that,
had
yeah.
like that smart ass answer to everything, but he also didn't know anything
Yeah.
the whole time, but thought he knew way more than he did. You know, he just was giving that energy. So when I say do ass kicking, he had said some fucked up stuff to people throughout that whole movie, and I like that Goldblum like gave him comeuppance somewhat. And like, you shouldn't be fucking on my girl, dude. I give you money. Like I hide the
Side
fact.
piece.
Yeah, but don't be fucking on her.
Side piece.
There's a bunch of people out there, dude. And like, shame on her. Did we know she was a heroin addict like right off rip?
No.
Like it's just she
Was
suddenly
it heroin?
It just happens.
she suddenly was on heroin. I think it was heroin, right?
No, she was just getting dressed, and all of a sudden she had like 2 gigantic looking track marks, which by
Well,
the
they showed something next to her bed, I thought.
When she OD'd?
Maybe it was when she OD'd that they showed it next to her bed, and it was just the 2 marks on her arms.
No, it was when she
Initially-
was getting ready for like the dinner.
Because she went from being a pretty girl, like nothing wrong, to having the bags under her eyes, and then them showing.
Are you
us-
talking about when she was getting dressed, like in the
Yeah.
mirror?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was in my opinion, like I was just like, what the hell? Like, why?
Yeah.
Where?
Well, you could tell right before that they made a point to show you like her sunken eyes
Yeah, I'm not picking up on that.
and all of that. but I'm saying in the same scene.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it was all in that same little thing, like that they showed you all that. But when you first meet her, she's like a normal social chick who's fucking around with a married dude. Jeff Goldblum, by the way, who is actually the dad to
Yeah.
Igby, banging another chick with a side chick. Skeezy New York guy to a T, like skeezy New York, like rich dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I feel like
rich
to a
dude
T.
Yeah. Part of it is like what allows him to do all that.
100% in there. What did you, Dante, make of the parental relationship that drives, I guess, like what you would consider the growth of Igby's character, if there was one? You're just looking at pictures.
Yeah.
Clicking away. What do you mean by that though? Like just like.
I mean, like the only thing that really changes him as a character, and he talks about it, is like
His relation to his mother.
Is his main driver for being a piece of shit or angry at the world is his relation to his mother, and that his brother is like the favorite, I guess, so to speak. And it wasn't until she dies he has that moment where he just beats up a dead body.
Yeah.
Did you care about that relationship? Because I think you have to care for this movie to be like good.
Yeah. I think there were definitely some points of it where you kind of feel like the stress of his situation, I guess, so to speak. I feel like that's the like cliche thing in those like movies from the early 2000s. Like I come from a rich family that has these high expectations of me and knows nothing about me and has no interest in who I want to be, kind of thing. And so they're just constantly at odds. And then also just the whole thing with like, not only is his father tapped, but also just like that whole traumatic experience in the bathroom with him when he like cuts himself and all that shit. Like, I think it carried.
It gave
weight.
you a reason for him to be fucked up. Right?
Yeah. Like I think it gave me insight into like why he's so like just go against the grain. You know what I mean?
I thought one other thing, it was just the response in the box office to this I thought was interesting, or at least interest me enough to look it up.
Yeah.
Because there is so many recognizable names and they were relatively established at this point. Like this came out in 2002.
Actually, one of my notes was this movie dated itself at the first mention of a dime bag.
That would have lasted until like 2009, I feel like, as relative.
She just walks up and goes, I got a dime bag. I'm like, that's a brag?
No, that weed circumstance, and then rolling up in the park the way that they were and everything, like rolling the joint up the way they were. Yeah. So this comes out in 2002. It initially, I think it makes in total. Did I have it here somewhere? So I'll give you this first before I pull that up. What do you think was number one in the box office when this came out?
Can I get multiple choice?
I'll give you. It's a trilogy.
Lord of the Rings.
No.
Spider-Man.
Not going to be any major action franchise. It's a comedy. It's a trilogy.
Major League.
No. Next, there is multiple rappers who star in it.
Comedy trilogy with rappers.
And this movie also worldwide made $7 million.
Barbershop?
He is correct. Barbershop was number one in the box office the week this came out. It made only the first weekend it was out, it made $300,000. Weekend 2 was apparently its major release. It got $750,000. Never broke $1 million.
You just said 307.
Well,
750 total. Yeah.
Next thing, I believe, for the week that it came out, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, just to give a snapshot of the time period.
Yeah.
1 hour photo, swim fan. Can you guess this one, Dave? At number 5, Jason Lee goes to an Ivy League school and has to get a test with Tom Green.
Coming Harvard, going Harvard, or something like that.
Stealing
Harvard.
Harvard.
Yeah.
Stealing Harvard. Number 5.
Never heard of it.
Number 6, Signs. Number 8 could be a porn movie or it could be a movie with Vin Diesel. Which one is it?
Bowfinger.
Triple X.
That's right. Yours was close though. And yeah, the number 10. I could give you this one also. If your dick was painted gold and you were part of a trilogy.
Gold member.
There you go. Cool. Just to give a snapshot of the time period that this came out. It was number 33, I think, in the box office the week it came out or something. This many stars made no money. Little indie movie, I guess.
I was looking real quick because, like I said, what really led me to just not like this movie was just, I think, the direction of the scenes in that first 25 minutes, 30 minutes. I almost just shut the thing off completely. I will say the back half, I think it was a much more kind of clear and concise story as to what was happening. Up and once you get Igby in New York, and it was just all right, here's a story. But the director, it was his first movie. So to have all these stars in your first movie is kind of
a lot of egos to have to battle.
But I mean, very, very, to me feels like this was your first go at a movie.
Did you also read anything on here based on? Did you guys read this at all? Speaking of Scholastic Book Fair, Catcher in the Rye. Is apparently what this is based on slightly.
I never read the book.
At least Igby's character, I think.
Holden Caulfield. Something like that.
I know we all read it for school, right? I just don't remember.
I don't think I did.
No?
Yeah.
That might have been a summer reading assignment that I never did.
You actually might be
right. Okay.
Yeah.
So, the director.
Yeah. One for, yep.
Yeah.
First movie.
If I give you a million guesses in terms of what are some of the other movies that he's done since, there's only 2 notable ones that I can kind of point at, both starring Zac Efron.
Neighbors?
Nope.
High School Musical?
Nope.
Baywatch?
Nope.
17 again.
17 again.
There's 2 of those?
No. Well, he did another Zac Efron movie.
Okay, so 17 again.
17 again came out in 2009.
Matthew Perry, R.I.P.
The very next movie that he did was also Zac Efron, 2010.
Who was in that? What's
Ashley Greene? I think was her name.
Mm-mm.
I think is her name.
Which movie are you talking about now?
Charlie St. Cloud.
Oh, Charlie St. Cloud. I do remember that movie. I remember the cover is him, her, and the little brother.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So he went on.
Her name's not
brighter.
Ashley Greene. It's Amanda Crew.
Completely. she went on to he went on to great things. 17 again, hit movie, of course.
Matthew Perry, yeah.
Yep.
R.I.P.
Yep. Karen Culkin, other thing, cast 2 weeks before it started filming. Kind of crazy. His brother's named Rory in this movie, plays the younger version of him in the flashbacks.
I immediately caught that. I was
Rory, also Dante movie you would have seen him in, maybe Scream 4.
Okay. Did I watch Scream 4? Yeah, I did watch Scream 4.
He's one of the killers.
Okay.
It's him and Mickey. Wait, it's Mikey Madsen, right? They're the 2 killers.
Yes.
What? No, that's 5th.
No.
Jill is the 4th. You're right. It's Jill and him. That's on me. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you did watch Igby, let us know. This is clearly Dave's least favorite. I think it's good to have movies we don't like in here, though, too. Just, yell it from the rooftops is what I always say. Let the world know. You know what you should yell from the rooftops? Subscribe. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, ladies and gentlemen. Until next week, though.
What are we watching next week?
Shit. What are we watching next week? And you know what you should be screaming from the rooftops? Subscribe. Make sure to drop a like, comment, share, and subscribe on the video. And then next week, stick around because we're going to be breaking down the movie Push. Does it pass the taste test, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls?
Push it real good.
Chris Evans.
Push it to the limit.
Dakota Fanning.
We were talking about Zac Efron, so
a bunch of other really cool people in it. A great movie. One I really like. One Dante's never seen, so that's always fun. Let's see if he gets into it.
it's fun when I haven't seen a movie.
Yeah, it's you specifically.
Okay.
Which is every movie, so it's always fun. That's why we do this.
Fair.
Yeah. Until next week, we bid you fale. Adieu.
Peace.
Bang, bang.
A skeet.
For those with good taste.
Really had to get the smoke out of those guns, huh?
There was a lot of smoke.
Shooting bigger bullets this week.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm slinging ropes, baby.
I knew we were gonna go there.
That goes after the song.